2 years of brutal school learnings in one video. So this is going to be really exciting. Just for reference, at this point of this recording, we're running the #1 Skool community in the sports category. So you will find some truth into this if you just stick to the end. So to make this really easy to take in, I'm basically going to bucket this video into 3 categories. So we have the false beliefs, so what I've been believing in the beginning as I first got started on Skool, which hasn't served me and also made me waste a bunch of time. So I'm just going to break all the false beliefs so don't have to waste a bunch of time walking in the wrong direction. Then I'm going to walk you through our breakthroughs and our entire growth journey we had on Skool so far in the last 2 years. And then I'm going to give you a future outlook on what I think where Skool is going and where we're going to take everything with our project at Bulletproof Cycling Club. One really important thing, I'm making this video specifically for sports, health and fitness coaches and creators because that's where we have most experience in, so to say, because we are running our community in this field. So you will get the most out of it. Yeah, let's dive right in. So first of all, false belief, #1, Skool is the solution. So what do I mean by that? Most people, beginners, especially us in the beginning, thought, okay, Skool is all one platform. We're going to build everything on Skool. It's going to be pretty straightforward. And then we realized, okay, it's a software, it's a tool. Don't get me wrong, it's the #1 community platform in the world by far. But still you need a bunch of other stuff and you still have a learning curve and you need to figure everything out. So Skool is not the solution. It's rather a really advanced, cool tool that can get your business to an entire new level if you use it right, but don't expect any solution type effect from it. Rather like a learning curve, and then basically once you know how to use it, it will do its job, so to say. So that's false belief, #1. Then next one, really big one, Skool is for beginners. That's what I thought in the beginning as well, and that's also why we were so excited about it, because we thought, okay, finally has somebody built something that beginners can use. And yeah, like with everything, most things are not for beginners, and Skool is one of these. So if you're a beginner and you 100% starting from scratch, Skool is not the best fit for you. Because if you look at it from the bird's eye, you're building a membership business here. And building a real membership business with a lot of different variables is like level 2 or level 3 of business. So if you're just starting out, it's way smarter, just not be on Skool, just have a simple calendar booking link, get your first one-on-one clients, make your 10K a month, and then basically transition from there into Skool, because then you can use it as a fundament to stick everything else on top. Because if you have no fundament at all and just start, okay, I'm going to launch a Skool, you're going to have a hard time like a lot of people have right now, and we'll see it. So yeah, it's definitely not for beginners. I would say it's a more advanced tool for somebody who has already a proven, done with you solution to then scale in a do-it-yourself kind of membership style. Then third one, no audience needed. This is also a huge one, because people think I'm just going to launch a Skool and then people are just going to come. It's this old philosophy with products where people think I'm just going to build the product and then people are going to come, and that's just not true. And especially if you want to build a membership business, you need a consistent flow of traffic. So if you don't have an audience, I would say it's not even worth starting this. Then you basically just focus on the other levers and build the audience first, and then you can take it from there. The only exception here is B2B, but I'm not making this video for any kind of B2B people who can reach out to people and do cold research and stuff. This is for sports, health, fitness coaches and creators, or people doing any kind of B2C stuff. So for you, without an audience, it will be close to impossible. And it's also this philosophy of I'm going to build my audience while I build my Skool. Just build your audience, sell your one-on-one coaching, and you make the most money because it's the easiest thing, and then transition later. So Skool is definitely not step 1. Then #4. The exceptions are the rules. So what I mean by that is, if you look at Skool, what people, and us included in the beginning, tend to do just with the top dogs, and okay, that's going to be me, but that's not quite the case, and you rather have to look at the average. So there are some people on Skool really crushing it. We also doing quite well. We're sitting around 100K consistently right now a month with our Skool, but that's not what you should look at. You should rather look at, okay, what is the average and set healthy expectations. Because if you set wrong expectations, you're going to be disappointed. And we in the beginning also were disappointed with how things were going. And this isn't helpful in building something long term and building an awesome business. So reset your expectations. You likely going to have to work way harder for way longer than you think, but then it's going to be worth it. So the exceptions are not true. So don't look at the top guys, rather look at something that's realistic for you, and then take it from there. And then eventually you're going to end up as one of the top dogs. #5. all categories are equal. To give you some context, on Skool there's different categories. We are in the sports category. Then there is hobbies, relationships, money, tech. Yeah, and that's the setup. And what you have to understand, you can't compare the money category, for example, to the sports category, because this is a completely different ballgame. And you also can't compare the tech category to the hobbies category. Because if you look at tech, that's usually just like a repackaged way of make money. And as with everything in business, the market is really deciding how things go. And there's right now this huge wave of make money online people who just like want to make money. And that's why you see this huge boom in the make money groups. Because also like people are selling to each other how to make money, and then they teach them the new strategy, and then they sell to the next guy who just like wants to teach others how to make money. It's just like, you can think about like the make money online gold rush, and also like easiest to start because people just like, you just have to make them believe that they're going to make more than they pay you, and then you go from there. So don't compare anything you see in the money category and the tech category to what we do here with sports, health, fitness. Totally different ball game, and also like totally different numbers, and also different business model required. That's also what people get wrong. They just like try to copy one of these money dudes, and then it doesn't work for them because it's just a different ball game you're playing. So we have a community style membership business here, and a lot of these other make money dudes just like sell high ticket straight to call and then high ticket. This wouldn't be possible with Bulletproof. If we would try this approach, then we would make no money. So yeah, different ball game. Just like know, if you, let's say you're in the hobbies category, look at the hobbies category and don't look at the money category and say, okay, why are these guys making more money? They're playing a different ball game. And a lot of times it's also not legit what they're doing, also like even on Skool. So don't look at it too much. Basically just look at peers in your category. Then what we got is Skool network growth. So there's like this claim, or how it's marketed, that you can get up to 1/3 of your members just like from Skool network. And it's also like heavy investment going on the side with discovery and stuff. And I was just like curious, because I think, okay, how can this be that, because I also was really exciting about it, that Skool network gives us members and we get none. So how can this be? And I was like thinking, and what I came up with, okay, Skool is like a category that's also like a platform that advertised to be easy to start a business. So most communities and most people, even beginners who just like go on Skool, want to make money there, but they have no clue and they want to build stuff. And there's also like a lot of free communities about this stuff. And what I like noticed is that a lot of people who just like join Skool with no clue, they join a bunch of groups, and then they join other groups and join each other's group. So I think where this number comes from is basically just all these money-oriented people hanging out on Skool all day, looking for the next hack, being desperate, jumping into the next money group and the next money group, next money group. And then obviously this drives up this number, because if you take it back, let's say to paid sports groups, like cycling or running, there you don't see this trend. So it's really different what you're doing. So if you're not selling any kind of money stuff, don't expect any wonder thing from Skool network. We have been really disappointed here. The only people joining our group from Skool network are first of all, people who basically just like lurking. So just like say, okay, what are we doing? Because we're like, here's one of the category, which is fair enough. So we're also like happy to connect with people and share stuff. That's cool. And then the second category of people that I don't like is basically just like people trying to pitch us stuff. And oftentimes it's like people even haven't done less on the platform. It's just like, really, but don't expect too much from the Skool network for now. So they're working heavily on it. And I think it will be improved, and Skool is going to be huge. So there will be gains from this in the future, but for now, don't expect too much. Just like focus on the basics, audience and conversion ecosystem to drive more people. And then you will grow. Then number 7, winning the games is hard. So this is what I thought in the beginning. We refer to the games, it just means the Skool games. It's like this competition from Alex Hormozi, where it's like every quarter, so and so much revenue, and who gets the most MRR gets invited out. So basically we, at this point in time, only won this thing once, and you get like this trophy thing. And I just like spent some time investigating about how this entire stuff works. And I also like noticed at this point in time, this entire trophy also become kind of a commodity, and at the same time like a status symbol, and also is not that much of a representation to what winning on Skool actually means. Because for us it means helping the most people, building the best community, and basically making the most impact. That's first of all. So it has nothing to do with money. There's like also like a lot of people who are doing great there, basically don't get rewarded. And the second thing is, it's not really accurate, because even if you, it's like, take it all the way back, it's like, let's look only at the money. How can it be that we basically only have like one of these, and there's like other people also in the sports category who have like, to like pump and dump. So basically go from like 0, then they go to like 5K, then they lose all members, and then they go back up like that, and then they have like 2 or 3 Skool Games trophies. So it's like, it's not that accurate, but what I want to say, if you just show up consistently, I basically can guarantee you that you get at least one of these trophies, and that's basically it. But then you have like the trophy, and you still are back in the grind, and you have to do the stuff and help your people and build a better movement. So it's just like, it doesn't mean anything much to me. And in the beginning, I just like thought, okay, this is like this huge achievement, and it's so difficult. And then I realized, okay, it's actually not that difficult. And also like at this point in time, it gets a little abused by a lot of people for like a little shady stuff. But just like, there's like this one dude who is like in this bio, just like also reaching out to us, like 7 times Skool Games winner, and just like has like 7 people he's spoken to like once or so. That's what I've gotten, because he has built no successful school. And it's just like flexing with the stuff, which just goes in the wrong direction, because it's like misleading beginners. So in the end, cool idea with the Skool Games, but don't obsess over the Skool Games. Like, I have to win the Skool Games. That's not what this is about. This is about helping the most people, making the most impact, and building an awesome community and an awesome business that changes the world for the better. So don't be focused too much on this bling bling stuff. It actually means nothing. So there's like people who actually haven't done anything, so to say, and have 3 of these. So yeah, just wanted to point this out, that you go in with healthy expectations. The 8th one and final false belief I had, it just like basically summarized everything. So like, school is easy, because I thought, okay, Sam Owens, Alex Samori, like the smartest people, but it's like they're still only like human, like everyone, and still has like work required and stuff. So obviously, and I expected this, and then it just like turned out, okay, it's just a great tool, but it needs work and setup like everything else. And it isn't even like, you can compare it to ClickFunnels or stuff, just like this is like for focus and community, and just like still have to learn it. So to ground you, really simple, you can basically just like say Skool is, and just like goes out the easy, and just like put a real work here, and then you are basically golden. So just like expect doing the hard and the boring work, and eventually will get to go. So don't expect it to be easy. Don't expect it to be a solution. If you are a beginner, it's not the best solution for you. If you have no audience, not the best idea. Focus on building the audience first. Don't expect to be one of the top dogs. Don't set your expectations that will be disappointed. Don't compare yourself to the money category if you're in the sports category. Don't expect too much from the Skool network at this point in time. And yeah, don't put too much focus on the Skool Game trophy, because it's just like another piece of metal kind of thing, and that means not that much. And then in the end, yeah, expect to do the real work. Let's bring it back all the way to the start in 2024. We kicked off back then with the agency, and we actually partnered up with Scott. So Scott already started before us on Skool, but he wasn't doing that well. So he was like doing like 3 to 5K months. We were struggling and couldn't do anything from there basically, and that's why we partnered up as a joint venture. It's like a 50-50 thing basically, and then we basically have been building it from there to what it is today. So first big lever, pretty obvious one, but also like most people don't realize it, because on Skool right now there's like this big fallacy of anti-funnels. So basically just like you don't need any funnel, you just like need to send people straight to your about page, because some of the big dogs do it, but these people also like huge audiences and they got huge momentum going, and doesn't mean it's the best approach to maximize your returns, because most people have a smaller audience and they have to maximize what they're doing, because the biggest struggle point is to grow and build your audience nowadays for most people, and not to just like copy paste like 1 or 2 funnel templates, then again they basically double what you're getting for what you put in. So we just realized, okay, we stopped sending people to the about page at all, and basically just like put a funnel in place, and it's like in the first months we already doubled, just like through like a simple funnel and an email follow-up. So I'm not going to go in depth into funnels. It's going to go too crazy for this video, and maybe I'm going to make another one about it. But first big lever, just like using funnels, not sending people to the about page. Then next big lever, so we're just like we're cruising along here, so to say, because we're also like focus on other stuff still in this period, so it had no focus here. And then what they basically did, they launched annual, and we already had a good user base. We just like thought, okay, let's just like try and give people 50% discount for a year. And people really love the product at this point and just like say, okay, $595 a year instead of $99 a month. And this just like exploded. So it's like we basically cruised in this month over like 100K months from like Skool alone, because we already had this goodwill in the community, and it's just like what are the 50% savings. So it basically took us like from, if you look at it from 5K and Scott struggling to over the first 100K months, it was like around 6 months. But that's what most people also like don't talk about. They're just like, yeah, I made 100K months. But it's one thing to make 100K months once, it's another thing to basically build a business that does it consistently and reliably. And that's why basically, because it was just like a more light of a launch, we launched the annual here. In this instance, we were cruising back down because it's pretty obvious. It was like the lever was pulled. And then we just were sliding into this valley because, just that you know, it's like Scott has a incurable disease with his gut. There's like gut bleeding going on and stuff, and he was at the hospital, and was really tough time for him and also like for the team. Working in the backend was didn't really knew what was going on here, so he also couldn't do much with like content and stuff, and that's like also a big learning. You never know what's going to happen to you. In this instance, just like life hit, because like Scott had to go to the hospital. It was a really crazy time, and that's why we had this huge dip, so to say. And then as Scott was getting better, trials was coming out. We launched the trial for like people to join, and we are using it still to this day. And this gave us a huge bump in momentum, because a lot of people were still like waiting on the sidelines. It's like, okay, let's hop in, because we only had the direct purchase here, and the people now could finally try it for free. And so it gave us a huge boost. And then what we did next, we actually implemented a coaching backend. So what do I mean by that? Before that, Scott has actually given up his one-on-one coaching. And now we just like said, okay, a lot of people asking about done with you. So let's just like hire a coach and sell it or make it available. Yeah, and this crushed. So basically, that's why people always say the money is in the back end, because it actually is, because we already had all these customers, and then we implemented the coaching back end here. And we just like made more per customer, which just like changed the entire game for the business. And that's why we're cruising up here. And then what we've done, we just like scaled this. Instead of just like making a soft ask, we actually got a seller who reached out to everyone, and still does to this day, to basically just like get them in the direction of the high ticket backend. So we have like there at this point in time 2 tiers. So one-on-one with Scott is like the VIP tier, and then one coaching tier that's basically just like with an additional coach. So that's basically how we've set it up. And that's what has taken us to like our all-time high. And then from there we were cruising down a little, and what we're working on now is IO events. And I'm really excited about this, because usually that's now going to be pulled. People are really excited about it. And here we're talking in real life experiences. So cycling camps, people actually meeting up. We're one planned in like Scotland. We want to do Mallorca and then also Belgium. And then you can also like sell these tickets. The tickets for that in high ticket as well, like you do with the coaching, and people are really excited about it. It's going to be really wild, so to say, and it adds another layer to the business, and basically there's also more potential to cruise up here. So we're not done. We're just like still getting started with everything we're doing with Bulletproof. But yeah, that's the levers we have pulled in the journey in the last 3 years so far. Just like, I hope that makes sense. Okay, finally, future outlook. So if we look at it, everything from the bird's eye we've covered so far, if you know to live under a rock. AI is on the rise, everybody knows it. The question is like what people are going to do about it. And what AI also does in this entire social media stuff, people get more and more isolated, and they have more and more need and desire for community, because it's human. People want it and people need it, and they get deprived of it through this all tech and this isolation. So the more AI and the more tech, the more the desire for community is actually going to go up, and AI is also not slowing down. And this gives you huge leverage, because you can have a community setup that transforms people, guides them in the right direction with community, which they're deprived of, and you can use AI in the back end to leverage everything. So community plus AI is the future, and I can say with conviction, after I've seen like all the transformations inside of Bulletproof, at this point I can say like community is definitely like the new gold. So you have to experience it to basically know what I mean. So it's like life's changed. So life's changed, marriage has changed, complete transformations. Is like, it's crazy to say. So we got a bunch of testimonials. It's wild, but that's what we're doing this for in the first place. What does this mean from the bird's eye? As always, it's going to mean like struggle for most and opportunity for a few, because most people are just like going to complain, say like, this is hard, this is difficult, and they're going to quit somewhere in here, and the few are just going to push through, and then winner takes it all. And the winner takes it all paradox is going to be way more crazy and accelerated with community in the eye, because it's a crazy difference between a good and thriving community with a great culture and a dead community, and the people actually putting in the work, building the assets and everything. So winner takes it all. Please do yourself a favor and be one of the winners, because Skool is also not done. If we look at it from the birth, I just like drawn it out here. It was funded in 2019, and then 2022 made publicly available, and from there it's just been like a steady climb, and it's like an exponential growth, because yeah, people just like notice. I have to say, most people are still beginners, and also like a lot of them are just like going to straight up fail because they have no audience and they have like the false expectations coming into it. But nevertheless, that's still the future, and we're going all in. So we're not done here with Bulletproof. We're just like getting started. I'm going to make an update video for sure where we're in this journey, but that's up to this point. So I hope you could get something out of it. Do yourself a favor. Be on the train. It's going to be a wild ride. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're always happy to connect.